Okay, so I was looking at buying a super clamp for my photography gear just to hold flashes and whatnot on poles or wherever. And I saw on Adorama they have the Manfrotto super clamp, the original, right here. Runs about $27 with the stud in it. Then also for $10 less, for $17, I can get the Adorama version right here, which looks like pretty much the exact same thing. Now there is this little piece here, this little triangular piece that fits into these little holes in here, and you can use that to clamp onto a flat piece of wood like a door frame, or a door itself, or a 2x4 or something. But you notice it falls out really easily, which is kind of a pain. In the Manfrotto version, it's kind of rubbery and it sticks in there, and it's pretty snug. Okay. And then when it goes in, it stays in, which is pretty nice. So that's one benefit to this Manfrotto version already for the $10. Basically, it's up to you to figure out if this $10 is worth it or not. Another thing here is this stud is currently tightened in with the safety tightener, and this tightener actually right behind here is where this piece goes. It kind of straddles this mount here, and you can tighten it to stay onto the clamp even when you're not using it for flat surfaces. When you're using it for pipes, you can keep that right there. Now you'll notice with the Manfrotto, the stud, once it's loosened, it stays in until I push this little safety release lever, and she falls out. And it's got a little metal piece in there that just clears. Okay? And the stud is pretty basic. Just has a flat side on one, and I believe it's a 1/4 inch screw grooves on the other side. Again, push it in. Can't slide it past that metal piece, but if I push in on the metal, she falls in and she's locked in place. And then we tighten it with the turn knob here. Now, on the Adorama version, one thing that's different, besides this piece always falling out, and again, we stick it right back on right here. So we pull that knob out and screw it on. This knob also has a spring load on it, which is, for better or for worse, an option. I notice this knob is also a bit tighter. There's some soft spots and hard spots on tightening this, whereas everything seems pretty smooth on the Manfrotto. I imagine with use, this would be smooth. And overall, I mean, it grips, it's tight, that's great, but it is, there are some hard spots in there. Now this piece, on this stud, make sure this is loosened all the way first. Okay, and the stud falls right out. You notice we also have a metal piece here that we push in and out. However, the stud, now it does have two ends, I believe a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 inch. We slide it in, and it slides. If I push in here, it doesn't change anything. And I think it's actually bottoming out on the metal piece right here. But I can feel it slide right past. Probably can't see. Right there, it slides right past the metal. So this little lever does nothing. I can go from the other direction. Put the 3/8 side down. Slides right past. Okay, so that does nothing for us, and it's tightening here. So you notice on the Manfrotto, it has these grooves, the hexagonal pattern, I guess. Yeah. And so it slides in all the way and locks in. Doesn't even turn on you, which is kind of nice. Now this one, it doesn't lock in, doesn't stay. It's even poking out the whole time, and it turns around. Another thing is, it just rolls around on you constantly. If you're not careful with it, it can roll away from you. So that's really not too beneficial. Okay, you do have two sides if you need to use both screw mounts, but it doesn't really stay in there until you tighten this knob up. So that's the differences. Honestly, this thing, the Adorama one, is slightly larger than the Manfrotto. Just slightly. Mostly it's just in the lever on the back, which is not so big of an issue. Okay, yeah, here's the Manfrotto with the silver washers on it, and the Adorama one with the black. The other thing is I can tell this Adorama one is painted black, and when I sniff it, I can smell the paint. It smells like, have you ever been in those old factories? Like maybe it actually smells like being on a submarine or like a Navy ship, and you have all these pipes, or some old factory where they're all painted black. It smells like that. So like, and you can kind of see this plastic has been painted to an extent. The Adorama one is solid. It feels like this is, the material itself has always been black. Has a load limit written on it. Overall, just a more professionally built super clamp. Not a huge difference. It's still functionally the same. You can still, turn the knob, tighten on stuff, put something on the stud, and it'll be secure. But just how much of a hassle do you want to put up with, and is the $10 worth? The stud falling out, the piece here falling out, versus this one. So, also the Adorama one comes with a couple of sets of screws. I don't know what they're for. You got some wood-bearing ones, some metal ones. Looks like they can go into these holes up top. These two, or the three down the middle, are metal, and this looks like it's rubber, but they don't fit that well. So, there you have it. Adorama versus the Manfrotto super clamps. $10 difference. You decide if it's worth it or not.